Welcome to our Monday, August 24th happy hour. Power hour. I've been on vacation. I wish it was happy hour. Power hour. There's nothing in my drink, I swear. With just me and Dad. Yeah, we might need some rum and cokes, margaritas. We're not there, but welcome back to me. You've been here the whole time.
Yep. What is today? August the 24th,
which
right?
is crazy, actually.
2026.
The X is open, which means
Usually the end of summer, right? And you can tell as soon as the X starts or school starts, you can actually feel it in the air. Can you not feel the air sort of changing a little bit there? They get a bit of a fall weather coming in. Like today was like what, less than 20 degrees out there?
again, the sun's setting a little earlier.
The sun's going down, that's right. Everything's starting to change a little bit. Your flowers and stuff are starting to dry out a little bit. Yeah. Oh well.
It's really depressing.
So that's good. So summer's over, which is good. Everybody get back to work now. Right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of folks are this week. You'll find a lot of kids or a lot of people are getting the kids ready for school. They're trying to get the things organized. They're trying to
last minute vacations,
I guess, but to get the kids all set up and that. And I think after the first week in September, you'll see things are starting to pick up again already. So we should be busy this week with renters. Anybody notice that? With the leases sort of coming up a little bit stronger right now in this couple of weeks, and the reason that would do schools. So schools are opening, so kids are moving to condos downtown, going to universities, going to whatever they're doing there. So we should be a bit activity right now.
Yeah.
If you've got leases that are sitting there not moving, then now's the time, right? So look at the price. If the price is too high, it's not gonna.
Especially downtown.
Especially all the way around, anything around the schools, right? Anything around like Seneca there. I think there must be a lot of rentals there to around Seneca. Scarborough campus, downtown. York University's got all kinds of rentals and that going on.
So if anyone's looking for some desperate last minute money, I feel like the next 2 weeks will be good if you really want to venture downtown and get some lease ads up. If you really want to make some like last minute quick money before school starts, you'll get the last minute students, but.
Well, good. So I think the big elephant in the room right now is that tariffs, right? Is anybody paying attention to that? Do people pay attention to tariffs and that? How do you think that's going to affect us in real estate?
Well, that's a 90,000 job will be lost.
Oh my gosh. Do you want to summarize it for us?
I can, yeah.
90,000, 90 job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, all kind of.
That's right. It's all here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's could have Carney done something different? You think he should have walked away, or you think that we don't know enough information to make that opinion?
Don't know enough information.
I mean, I was reading about Carney said that we walked away because of last minute changes, and then I was reading from the Americans. They're saying that Canada had last minute demands, so both of them are both. I don't know. Who do you believe?
Oh, okay.
You think so? I mean, you want to believe our prime minister, but you know what? Trump has little kernels of truth, so you have to be careful there too. You're really not sure, but. According to Carney, what happened is they had the agreements, and Trump went out there and said, we have an agreement, we have a deal, and then and if you listen to Carney at the time, said, no, we're still working on it, but Trump never said we have a deal. Trump said we have a deal, but Carney never said we did. He said we're still working on things. And part of the things that really sort of picked things off, well, I don't know if it's true or not, but here's what I'm reading here is that why the deal failed. The deal was close. Canada believed the major tariff and trade issues had largely been worked out. Last minute U.S. changes. I don't know who wrote this, but Canada says significant new conditions appeared at the end of the negotiations. This Lugnut guy, which I do not like the guy. I don't like him at all. I think I don't know what he's doing there, but apparently his interpretation of the agreement was different than what the negotiators had been. So at the beginning, just paraphrase here, but Canada and USA thought they had an agreement based on certain things. The Lugnut comes in the last day or two, and his interpretation was completely different. And that's what changed it. Part of the things was that Canada wanted an exemption for a heavy, medium-sized truck. And in other words, rather than 50% or 25%, I guess they wanted to make it back to 10 or 15, whatever it was. But luckily, Canada said, no, that's off the table. We're going to still maintain the full tariffs on mid-sized, medium-sized trucks. So that would affect the Oshawa plant that builds Silverados. and would affect the Oakville plant, which builds FT50s imported. Those two plants would have, had they agreed to it, that would have made them less competitive. Wherefore, what is going to happen? Right? So that kind of speeds things up. Steel and aluminum. Right now, we're paying 50% tariffs, or somebody's paying 50% tariffs on steel and aluminum. Canada wanted that cut in half or zero, which I'm not sure the Americans agreed to that or not. Critical minerals indicated it wanted first right of refusal for all critical minerals. In other words, they didn't want Canada selling critical minerals to other countries. They want USA wanted first right of refusal for all critical minerals. And of course, Carney's been trying to go outside the country, trying to get rid of the states and try to make it more diversified. So that hurt them. Saw conditions affecting Canada's ability to make trade agreements. So they're telling us that we can't trade with China. They're telling us we can't trade with whoever we want to trade with. So like Trump says we want to become an American state. Trump is treating us like an American state, telling us who we can and who we can't deal with. But I think the biggest one was, there's a bunch of other stuff here, but the biggest one was that the Americans didn't like the idea that for them to have to sell into Canada, they have to have French language on the labels and French language on the online data. So they want to get rid of the requirement to have French language on stuff that they sold. This is Canada, my friend. Go to France and tell them you can't do French. Now go to China or Japan and tell them you can't do Japanese, right? So you can't do that. So I think he just decided this is nothing to do with trade anymore. This is to do with sovereignty. I mean, he just wants to control Canada. That's what they're saying. So anyway, so they walked away from it. Just so you know, there is a trade deficit between Canada and USA about, I'm reading here, about $50 billion. Trump says $200 billion. $50 billion. In other words, what we export to the States and what we import from the States, the difference is $50 billion in the Americans' favor. But if we take away oil, like oil, stuff like that, we're actually a $60 billion deficit. In other words, we are importing more from U.S. than U.S. is importing from us. But that seems to be lost on everybody here. So you take away the energy part, and we're actually bringing in more. I mean, if you look at stuff, who's driving an American car right now? How about your pen, or how about you've got stuff going on that you're buying American, which probably don't know it. Electronics and things like that. So it's quite a bit that we're doing there. So that's why it's unfair. But anyway, here we are. And I heard this morning that Trump on January 2027 has said that decided that if we retaliate against their retaliation, he's going to put 50% on everything. That's his latest thing as of this morning. January 2027, he's going to put a tax on everything.
Every January, they come up with.
Anyway, so that's that. So how does that affect real estate? I don't know. I mean, it affects jobs, right? I mean, it affects confidence. It affects confidence, I think, more than anything else, right? But other than that, it really doesn't affect us, really. I mean, it's very small. It's 5% of the current tariffs are 5% of our economy. But in the American side, even though it's 5% of our economy, it's like 0.3% of Americans come. So they don't care, right? So even though it's a big thing for us, it's not for them. Anyways,
You think they go back to on this table? I think so.
Depends if the states are putting enough pressure on them, right? I mean, if the Washington and Maine and California and all the states that Canada is the number one trading partner, they have to have some influence. But you're dealing with a bunch of I don't know.
If they sign a deal, that doesn't mean it.
Well, this is what they're saying too. That
They can just
this is what Carney said too. He says even if we came to an agreement, we don't know how reliable it is because he'll just change his mind anyways. So
as long as Trump is there, inconsistency will come.
Yeah. Now the concern is okay if Trump's there, but if Trump's gone, you think he's going to think what he's doing is lingering around? Is it going to stick around? Is it going to stay there? I don't know.
It's gonna stay there. Always American.
Right? Because it's so Democrats and Republicans they won't reverse or things like that. But I don't know.
Trump is not the only person who thinks like that way. It's urban. It's always all those people around him.
Yeah.
All they think the same way.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's what they call it. The Trump administration for sure. But anyways.
they have a power. Like they can kind of.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You think I can't see Canada ever doing that? I think Canada's going to turn, going to shut down the oil export, shut down electricity,
That's what they did.
and then the Americans just come in and take us over, wouldn't it? I mean, who's going to stop them, right? If America decided, no, we're going to take you over. What are we going to
They
do?
said this morning that Canada doesn't have any army.
We don't. No, we don't. No.
We do, but we can't defend us with this kidnapping economy.
Anyway, so what he is doing there, even though 75% of our exports do go to the United States, he's trying to get more exports going to other parts of the world. So, and Trump wanted to, or the negotiators wanted to stop Canada from being able to negotiate from other countries. So they can't do that too. I mean, you can't cut us off and let us go somewhere else. Anyways,
And you think it's going to affect real estate?
I don't think so. Not here. Maybe in other parts of Canada, but maybe not GTA. I mean, other than psychologically.
Durham?
Yeah, GTA. I think Durham, Oshawa, maybe, but even Oshawa. I mean, even Oshawa lost that plan. I mean, they've lost that plan a long time ago too, right? Same with that Stellels plant there in Brampton, right? They haven't built anything there for a couple of years, so yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
What do you guys think?
Everyone's just tired of like
In
bad
the
news.
world, everybody's just tired of it. Just move on, right? Let's get going. Let's sell houses.
When some positive news coming?
All right, so Canada's housing market is getting more balanced. All right, that's good news, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is Canada housing market, not just Toronto, but Canada's market just produced its 4th consecutive month gain. So 4 months in a row we've had increase in sales. Even though they're less than last year, there's still an increase in sales for the last 4 months. So that's encouraging, right? The national home sales rose from June to July as well, and activity was still 5% below January 25, but the MLS price index shows that prices are actually 3.3%. So prices have actually come down a little bit, but units themselves are sort of moving up a little bit. Is that a good thing that the prices are dropping, or?
Yep.
I think it is, right? Has anybody been reading anything about the interest rates for next week? Was it September the 2nd or 3rd? Anybody I haven't read anything yet. Are people predicting it to increase or not?
Hopefully it stays.
Hmm?
Well, earlier this year, they were talking about them going up near the end of the year. So
The Americans, the interest rates have gone up. Their bond rates are starting to go up. People are starting to sell off their bonds and that. So the bonds are going up. So the rates will be going up there too. The more useful story for Toronto is the return of the balanced market across markets. It spent the first half year in opposite extremes. So Ontario and BC saw the buyer's market in the spring, but nowadays we're starting to get closer. We're starting to get closer to the 4.5 days of inventory, months of inventory, sorry. So months of inventory is starting to come down, and the listed sales ratio is about 55%. If they get that down to 40%, it's also a balanced market. So we're starting to go that. Who's got listing right now and not selling? Anybody here?
I would say mostly condos.
No. Anybody have properties here that are not selling? You have a couple. You've got those power sale properties not selling.
Power of sale is not getting sold, but rest of it.
You're getting showings.
Well, yesterday I had open house.
So and you got 2 power sales, right? Two power sale
I
listings.
sold one.
You sold one already. Okay, and the other one there are they asking too much or?
No, the price is good, but I think I feel they should relist it. But lawyers were saying we keep it for 90 days.
They want to keep the price at 90 days.
Yeah.
So they have obligations too.
Like a private
Yeah.
party, we can't just simply cancel it and relist.
Yeah, they have to sell. They have to sell it for the right price, so they want to show it's on the market for a while. Okay.
Interesting.
Sellers are pulling listings faster than buyers are returning, so we know that too. We said that last week that the inventory has gone down, but it's not because properties sold. It's because the sellers decided to take the properties off the market.
We saw a few of that last week, actually.
So rather than reducing the price, they just took the property.
We'll try again in the spring.
Right? Because they don't want to give up their price, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fewer sellers are willing to sell at that price. This is when you reach the balanced market over time. We're watching the market try to progress. So on the buyers, who's running buyers right now? Are you funding inventory? Those that are running buyers? You find stuff to show? Is it the prices are too high, or what's happening?
No, I mean, the buyer thinks only one way, that we need
Buyers are too high.
other low price. Same issue. They want to start 100K lower than the thing.
Yeah.
They're really coming in low, right?
I mean, whatever.
So we're still getting stories now about people that bought properties in 2022. This one here bought in January 2022. The guy paid, I forget where the property was, so somewhere in GTA. I want to say Brampton, but I don't know. But it was a 5,000 square foot house in 2022. He paid $2.8 million for it.
Wow.
Which would be okay for for that size house. And then he recently just sold conditional, and list price was 1,699. So the guy lost 1.1 if he actually sold even for that price.
Wow.
Right. So
That's a big drop.
that's
Most
no,
like a couple hundred.
yeah, that's huge, right? So it's just not it's not right?
So you which area?
I don't know.
It's a GTA.
GTA didn't actually give me the address here. Yeah, GTA for sure. I'm not sure what the address was. Anyways, I don't see that. But what would you guys do if you had a client that paid 2.8 for a property that's worth 1.7 or 1.8? Would you tell them to sell or hang on to it? That's a hard one, right? The guy must have strong motivation to sell it, right? To lose $1 million. Maybe not making the payments or something going on there, right?
We're just gonna go rent.
Yeah, who knows, right? Realtors, Rico. So we still got a bunch of people that haven't paid their dues. I think that it costs $35. So we've got till next, I think the 31st. Was that till next Tuesday?
31st is Monday, I believe.
Till next Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
So right now we're sitting with 67,000 listings on the Toronto Real Estate Board. And I suspect that they'll come down to probably 64,000, 62,000, something like that. I think that's what's going to happen. A lot of people have decided to retire, even though you paid for the whole year, but a lot of people decide to retire, which is fine. I saw this from the NAR, this is the National Association of Realtors in the States, not Canada, but Canadian numbers and American numbers are pretty equal. From January 1st to 2026 to August 1st, 2026. This is good news for you guys. Number of agents that sold, this is half a year. Number of agents that sold between 100 and 300. Just show you how numbers are, right? Between 100 sales and 300 sales. Somebody did over 100 sales, 1,700 agents in all of the United States.
That seems like a lot. I don't know why.
1,700. Agents that did between 50 and 100 deals were 4,000, well, let's say 5,000. Agents that did 20 deals, 29 deals did about 14,000. Agents did 10 to 19 deals, there's 34,000. Agents that did 5 to 9 deals, 60,000. Agents that did 1 to 4 deals were 156,000. And people that did 0 deals in the States, 1.1 million people.
That's crazy. That's a big number. That's almost 80% of the total agents.
Right. That's right. So 80% of the agents in the States did 0 deals. So in Canada, we're not that. In Canada, we're not that bad.
They have 1.36 million
In
agents.
Canada, we're 50%.
1.36 million agents in America.
How many is in Canada? 67,000.
Well, we've got 70,000 just in Toronto.
Toronto's
Or 68.
67,000, where it is, 60,000, and half of those have not done anything. Across Canada is probably, well, I know Ontario's 110,000, so I'm guessing probably all Canada, maybe 200,000. Right? Most of them in Toronto.
Wow.
But that's typical, right? So and I think a lot of people did get their real estate license in 2020, 2021, 2022, thinking that it's easy money, and it was easy money.
It was.
Right? And then now it's not easy money, right? And then back then too, I feel a little bit sorry for agents that started in that time, because people were phoning you wanting to buy and sell real estate, right? People phoning you saying, I want to invest, I want to buy pre-con. My sister did this, I want to do that, I want to do the same thing. People were phoning you and you did it, right? Today, you have to phone them.
They're so hesitant now.
People are not phoning you. Is that true?
Yeah.
Right. So that's why the importance of the database and the CRM and keeping your face in front of them is far, far, far more important today than it has been in the past. Right. And we'll get into the trade and stuff like that, right? You guys don't come across this very often. We talked a couple weeks ago about Nick Nurse having to pay $800,000 in taxes when he bought a property here. And he came here under a work permit. He's not a permanent resident. He's not a Canadian citizen. He's here on a work permit. So CMHC and the government will allow people with work permits to get mortgages. So they can get a mortgage, but right now, non-residents cannot buy in Canada. So Nick Nurse, would he be a non-resident? No, he wouldn't, because he's living here, right? He had a job here and a work permit, so he wouldn't be considered a non-resident. So he bought the property. But in Ontario, if you're not a PR or you're not a Canadian citizen, then you have to pay a 25% tax on that property, and that's where this came from, this $800,000. So somebody should have told him before you bought, though, by the way, you got to pay $800,000, you're not going to get it back. Or somebody should change the law.
I'm hearing a lot. I've heard 2 of our agents had lost deals last month. Both Ukraine, interestingly enough, but the agent didn't know to tell the clients that, and they ended up having, one was a firm deal, I think, and had to back out. One was conditional, but the agent didn't know to tell the buyers that.
So this is why we're talking to you guys.
So you guys have to know.
So if you got foreign buyers in that, or you got non-residents buying property, just make sure you ask what's going on, right? And stay on top of that. So it's a lot of money there. And you guys know that when you go to sell a property, if somebody moves, let's say they lived in Canada and they moved to the USA, and then they sell their property, now they're considered a non-resident, and the buyer has to withhold 25% of the purchase price until that person files their taxes, right? They get a tax clearance certificate. Just to remind you what's going on with that. That's been going on now for 50 years. That's been there forever.
And what is the rule of being non-resident? If you're Canadian citizen, how about the how?
You're fine. If you're a Canadian citizen, you use the word resident citizen. There's 2 different things, right?
Oh. If Canadian citizen is
Canadian citizen's okay. You're fine.
London immigrant he's talking about.
Well, you're Canadian citizen, he said.
No. London immigrant.
No, he's out of the country for
Who's out of the country? Canadian citizen?
Canadian citizen.
It's out of the country. Doesn't matter. They're Canadian citizen.
Actually, if you're out more than 6 months, you lose the residence. You're still a citizen, so you use the residence.
That's right. But non-residents are not considered Canadians. So you're okay then. But anyways, ask.
You cut all your health cards.
Yeah, your OHIP disappears too.
Yeah.
No.
London immigrant.
They're fine. Well, no, land immigrants are not permanent residents. They're temporary, right?
They're permanent.
No. Land immigrants are not permanent residents. You have to apply for permanent residence.
So that's resident immigrant in
My wife was a land immigrant for forever, and then we finally got PR. So I speak of experience there. Yeah.
So many levels.
Yeah, congratulations.
Still waiting for process.
All right. Yeah. So land immigrants, they can come here, but they'll have like 9 on their social insurance number, so they won't be able to get a mortgage.
So what did you say, 9?
9 on their social insurance number. If the social insurance number starts with 9, that means they're not permanent. New release mortgage renewal survey data gives agents the reason to reconnect. So they're talking here saying that a company here did a 2026 mortgage renewal survey.
Oh, I have this one too.
You want to talk about that?
Is it the same one?
Okay, you can talk about it.
Okay. So they're saying, I guess, Royal LePage put out a new report, the mortgage renewal survey, which is kind of interesting, but it's a good opportunity for you guys. That's why I think we're mentioning it, to give you guys a reason to reconnect with your clients, because I think a lot of you guys are probably not. Are you guys reconnecting with your databases? I hope. I don't know. If you haven't, this is a good excuse. So they're saying 38% of borrowers are expecting their monthly mortgage payment to increase when they renew. 35% say they're more anxious about this renewal than the last one. And 76% believe that it will put some financial strain on them. So they're just saying in this article that it's just giving you guys a reason just to kind of talk to your database. So we're finding like a lot of agents are just kind of trying to figure out different ways to talk to them. So this is just something credible that you guys can put in front of your past clients. Most people aren't moving right now, and that's kind of what makes this interesting. So even though they are increasing the mortgage rates, they're saying like a lot of people still are just gonna stay in their homes, and they're saying 58% of the people are just going to reduce their spending. 48% are going to cut travel. 38% will delay renovations or repairs. Some are just going to reduce their savings. But basically 71% of them are not going to actually consider changing their living arrangements to avoid, just because the costs are going up. But there's still going to be 22% that are going to consider changing their living arrangements. So these might be people that are considering relocating to another place. Some may consider downsizing, and some may even start to consider maybe renting out a part of their home. But either way, there's a lot of people, they're saying 31% of people are considering some type of change overall. So they're just saying maybe just take a look at the homeowners in your database, especially people that bought in 2021, and maybe just send them out like a personal message about this study, saying that Royal LePage released a study just talking about how 1 in 5 Canadians are approaching mortgage renewal and considering changing their arrangements. And he's just saying, if you are considering staying, moving, or downsizing, just reply to this email. So I think he's just sending emails out to people just to kind of gather some info. So you can either maybe email your guys, text your guys, call your guys, whatever it is. Go back to your 2021, 2022 buyers. I guess 2021 would be like the 5-year renewal, right? But maybe do 2022 who are going to be renewing next year as well and get ahead of it. And then maybe get them connected with their mortgage brokers, see if their mortgage brokers can start doing some help. But either way, you want to just throw yourself in front of them just to show that you're helping. So even if they're not making a move or anything, you're just adding value to that relationship right now and showing them that you're ahead of it, you're keeping on track with it. And it's just a good excuse for you guys to get in touch with them. But I think we mentioned that too this year. Usually every January, what I typically do is I go back to my database. I get Heather to print me out a list of all my clients. And then anyone that bought 5 years ago, every December, January, we send an email just saying, hey, your mortgage renewal is probably coming up this year. Let us know if you're thinking about doing something. So just a reminder, if you guys, like Claire said, no one's calling you anymore. So these are good excuses just to get in front of people.
Yeah, and they're talking about here, this example here is you get 500 homeowners in your CRM. Start that email saying that you're thinking about, did you buy something back times, trying to renew. You're saying here, even if 5 people responded, that's good. That's still good, 5, that's still strong.
5 potential clients, one of them might do something.
All right, so it's just a matter of touching out to them. And a lot of guys might use their drip campaign for CRM, so this is like an individual personal thing, right?
This
So
is direct.
Just
Don't
direct.
send a mass email. It's not like everyone's going to have 100 people to email. You can literally crush out all these emails in a morning or afternoon. So it's not going to take up a whole lot of your time.
So what's going on here, he's sort of giving a lesson here too. He's saying here, most agents either ignore the information that you're receiving or share it on social media with a sentence or two explain what happened. So this happened, I saw this myself with HST on new homes. I saw a lot of agents go into social media talking about the HST rebate, 13,000, blah, blah, blah. But that was it. That was just on the social media.
I did my job.
I did my social media. How long does the social media post last?
Like 2 seconds.
All right. So they're saying here, just because you did the social media talking about a quicker thing, they're saying don't do that. Like do the CRM and send them a personal note saying, hey, send them that note personally on your CRM.
The ideal would be to do both. So you've got the email directly to them, and you have a social media post, and you've got some sort of advertising about it. Like just following them with all that information is important.
Yep. That's all I got is negative stuff here. The heartbreaking crisis facing pre-sale condo buyers is rumbling on. So we're getting more and more pre-construction condos have been closed. I'm starting to see more and more of them. We've been able to navigate it so far. Unfortunately, the individuals whose clients didn't close, they've got more than one pre-con job. So far we've been okay, but it's a little tricky for the agents, a little tricky for the clients. A lot of people bought in 21, 22. But we got one right now, just so you know. If you got a client that's renting out a pre-construction condominium during the occupancy time. All right. This is tails on the street, right? So if you got a client that bought pre-construction and he's in the occupancy phase and he wants to rent out the property, does anybody here see a problem? He wants to rent out their condominium during the occupancy period for a condominium that they don't own.
Yeah.
Some builders do not allow it.
This is a great lesson.
Some builders do allow it. So as a listing agent, you need to find out which builder you have, right? And in some cases, the builder says, no, I'll do it, but you got to pay me money, and I have to approve the tenant. Because what they want is if the owner does not close, the builder does not want a tenant.
Yeah.
So they want to qualify the tenant themselves, and they also want to make sure before they approve the tenant that the buyer themselves has a pre-approval on their mortgage or has the ability to close. So the last thing the builders want to do is have somebody move in as a tenant and not pay the rent, and then the guy not close, and now they're stuck with the tenant. So if you got a situation that you're renting out pre-construction, contact the builders, make sure that we can do it.
And the one that they approve, they still have their own schedule that has to be signed.
Yeah. So the tenant has to sign. Sometimes the tenant has to sign something anyways, like they abide by the laws, the bylaws, and the rules, and the elevators, and all that stuff, right?
All places are not closed. They got been renting it since 2020. Majority of them, as far as I
Won't allow you to go in. No. So we're doing today. We got stuff today that they're allowing it. So yeah, it depends on the individual builder. But that's a lesson. So be careful with that. So you've got to know what's happening, right? Yeah. And of course, a lot of these guys, unfortunately, they're I don't know. What do you tell a guy? What do you tell a guy that's got $300,000 deposit on a property that's worth what?
300,000.
No. If you put $300,000 down, that's 20%, $600,000 property, right? So $600,000 property, you put 20% down is 120. No, so okay, so it'd be $1 million property. They put $300,000 down. Now the property's worth $700,000. Do they close and they're in the whole $300,000, or they just walk from the $300,000 and say sorry?
the principal property they will stay in, but if it's an investment, they gotta
Could have a hard time there.
Yeah.
What do you think, Alex? Not that I've seen yet. No, I haven't seen any builders do any concessions. I've seen builders switch units. Buyer can't close on $800,000 units. They sell a $600,000 unit. I've seen that.
Give them the option, but you can't exit.
Yeah, they're not going to exit, but they'll make you a bit of a break. So that was on one. So, and then the question to me is, okay, does the agent get paid on
600
or anything because the buyer didn't close that deal?
At this point, just take what you can get.
We don't know.
Better than nothing.
That'll be the next one, right? Rico, we talked about last week, but now I've got the numbers here. Rico wants your input. If you've got till September the 11th at 4 o'clock through the Rico's website to give your opinion. They want to increase the renewal fees from $306 to $398. I always thought it was $390.
Used to be 356 and then reduced it to 306.
306. Okay, so there we go. So it's 306. They want to bump back to 398 come January.
Oh, you were saying the 390 in 2022.
Yeah, new applications, they want to make it from $50 to $200, $204. Registration transfer fee $25 to $100.
Yeah, and they're getting the tariff.
I know.
It's funny because they dropped that transfer fee from 127 back to 30 or something like that. Now they want to bring it back up.
It was always there. Like everything else used to be high, and they dropped it to attract people like us.
Number of people that they're dropping.
Not a lot of people joining school right now, so they're probably getting less applications.
Well, the applications, at one time we were doing what, 200, 300, 400 a month, and now we're doing like 150, 200.
Yeah.
So that's dropped quite a bit. 111,000 residents in Ontario. Just so you know, Rico employs 170 people. Just so you know. And 170 people to process applications and to discipline, I guess. The revenue dropped $30 million in 2023. Oh, from $30 million to $24 million in 25. So they lost about, $6 million or so. And they're trying to find it back. So they're trying to say that they're going to have a $9 million shortfall. I don't know.
Oh, what's that iPro for?
Mismanagement. They're saying here that Rico attributed to the sharp 2025 increase largely to oversight costs connected to the iPro Realty fallout, including legal expenses.
Thanks, iPro. Wow. I was like, whoa, go back to that one.
Yeah.
I don't know whose fault.
So
that
one
was.
brokerage can affect a whole board.
Yeah,
That's
who
wild.
knows? Who knows? So that's going on there. Oshawa, they've got downtown Oshawa. They're going to build purpose-built rentals right downtown. It used to be called the Foundry District. They're going to build 23 acres. They're going to start off with 2 10-story buildings, one 10 stories, one 23 stories on Bruce Street. Anybody know where that is? It's right downtown Oshawa anyway. So you want to bet this is going to be,
20.
30% of the units are going to be affordable units geared to income. So that's going to be right downtown Oshawa.
Woof, right in the heart. 10 stories.
10-story and 23-story. They already have some already. So, yeah. Ouch. Also, just going back to new homes. Anybody have clients doing new homes? Are the builders cooperating? Anybody here? No. I know that the home sales jumped in Ontario following the HST cut, but just something else to remember. Ontario now is putting part of the onus on the buyer to register their purchase with Tarion. So before you buy a house from the builder, and the builder would give you the Tarion forms, you'd sign the Tarion forms, and they would file it. Now they're expecting the buyer to register their purchase with Tarion.
Oh.
What they're trying to catch, they're not trying to catch the big boys. They're trying to catch the individual builders, the individual guys that are building one property and pretending that they bought it for themselves when in fact they're builders. They want people that are buying those types of houses to register from Tarion and make sure that the Tarion gets their taxes from the builder.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bottom line. So if you got someone that is buying new from a one-off builder through MLS, for instance, we're going to make sure that they're going to register with Tarion. What else? Bunch of repeats. Open rooms. Anybody doing that? Has anybody checked out the open room yet?
For tenants?
For tenants? Is everybody using the single key for tenants and the verified for tenants? Anybody use verified yet?
Mm-hmm.
Would you prefer verified or single key?
I think I liked Verify.
I think it's cheaper.
Yeah, it's cheaper. I feel like it was quick.
And what does verified do different than a single key?
The biggest difference would be that they ask the tenants to connect their bank account.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, true.
Sometimes it's an option, but like they ask for that. So like you can kind of see if they do connect it, you can see like their spending habits over like.
So they're asking the tenant to give them their bank account number?
Some.
Really? Okay. I can't see anybody doing that. Can you?
Or uploading bank statements.
Bank statements, yeah.
Or bank statements bank statements. Okay, and then they'll look at it themselves.
And they can see if it's fake or not.
Yeah.
Otherwise, bank wouldn't allow them for the link.
There's so much stuff going on right now that you guys don't know what's happening for the tenants going on. So with AI stuff going on there, that's you better to use verified or single key to help them verify any clients, because there's so much going on out there. Right?
So much. I just have all the right brain stuff.
Good. Go.
Let's see. What do you guys want to do? CRMs? Marketing? I have a few. Let's do CRM mistakes. I'm getting a lot of questions on CRMs in the last little while.
Right. Let me finish mine before you talk about that.
I guess this one kind of goes.
This goes with this here.
Yeah.
My article says here, a career's worth of relationships, one final payoff. You understand what that means? A career worth of relationships, one final payoff. This agent decided that they wanted to retire. After 27 years, put on the path, it would be the great shoot. So she's saying here, here's my career. What's her career? It's in her CRM. It's all her client database, all her notes, all the stuff. So here's a lifetime of relationships in that CRM. Everybody follow that? So that should be a payoff. You should be able to take that CRM and pay it off, right? You should be able to sell it to somebody. That's the gist of it.
We've been talking about it. But
I know, but I think it's more and more important as the market gets slower, because in the past, people, as I said before, people were phoning us. People were phoning you, I want to buy this, I want to invest that, I want to do it. Now they're not phoning you. So that's why it's critically important to get the CRM going and make sure that it's up to date and you're using that. So
Okay. So on that note, we'll talk about the biggest mistakes that agents are making in their CRM. What is everyone using right now? I get questions all the time. I know I've got some follow-up boss people. What's one you guys have? You said high note? High level. And then we got MoxieWorks, whatever it is. You guys should all have one, hopefully. A lot of agents already have one, but a lot of you guys don't know where to actually start or actually how to work it. So mistake number one is a lot of agents will live in the tasks and the notifications. So especially when you get a brand new CRM, a lot of you guys will update your contacts and then you'll just start creating tasks for everything, like call this person, email this person, follow up in 2 weeks. And as soon as you kind of miss one day, then you miss two, then you miss three, and then all of a sudden you have this giant task list of everything you're supposed to be doing. And then I know agent behavior, a lot of you guys will just forget it and then you don't continue doing it. So what they're suggesting is maybe creating lists instead of tasks. So that way it kind of like just saying like, show me every new lead that from the last 7 days who hasn't been contacted yet. Show me clients whose home anniversary is this month. Show me leads who have engaged with my website in the past week. These would be more high level CRMs for sure. I think the MoxieWorks probably wouldn't do that, but you can do house anniversaries and stuff like that on there. But instead of creating a daily task list, maybe just create a list of things to do for that month, of things that like an email, like we just talked about today, that should be on your list, being like, okay, print out a list of all my 2021 buyers and then start to reach out with them automatically. The other thing that a lot of agents will do is they expect the automation to do the work for you. And I see our own agents doing this too, where you guys will set yourselves up for those automated emails in the MoxieWorks, whether you're doing seasonal maintenance, the life at home, whatever it is. And you're like, yep, my clients get something from me every single month and they do automation and then they actually don't do anything else with it. Or if you have a really high level CRM where like maybe someone fills out a home evaluation, then they receive a text and an email and they're just letting the CRM do everything for them and they're not actually directly reaching out to those people after they see someone did a home evaluation click. Or maybe, I know on MoxieWorks even, if you could put a link in there or even opens, you can see who opens it and who clicks on things. You should be checking that every time you guys know that an email is going out. And don't just be like, oh, great, Claire opened my email. Like maybe it's an opportunity to then say, oh, Claire opened my email or you clicked on the link. I'm just going to casually reach out and not say, hey, I saw you clicked on my link, but just say, hey, I'm just checking in. So like you should be like watching the automations happen, see who's clicking on things, see who's opening things, and then start to reach out to them directly. And I think that's a huge thing that most agents don't do is they just think because things are going out automatically, they don't have to do anything after that. The complete opposite of that is the mistake of being afraid of automation and using it ineffectively. So there's some of you guys that are avoiding automation altogether because you're worried about sending the wrong message at the wrong time, or you're worried about maybe sending too many emails. A lot of you guys don't even like to send one email a month because you're like, oh, they're going to get annoyed of me. I send an email every 2 weeks. Like, I don't care who gets annoyed at it. I don't care what the message says. Some of you guys overthink what other people are thinking about your emails when your audience is not thinking like that. And then you start to do everything manually, which is also not very effective as well when you're just doing absolutely everything manual. So you should be able to do both. And a lot of people will get really distraught. Like Claire said, you may send out 100 emails and only 2 people respond and you'll be like, oh, that's a waste of time. But those 2 people might actually do something with you. So you do have to have automated campaigns that sound like you. And then you also have to be picking up the phone and actually reaching out directly to these people as well. Mistake number 4 is treating every lead the same. So someone who inquired yesterday about a specific property is not the same as someone who filled out a form 18 months ago. So a lot of you guys will treat your database like a flat list and you'll say, okay, I'm going to call everybody on my list every month or once a month or twice a year. And instead of like segmenting it by motivation, like so if you've got some new leads that might need some immediate attention, re-engaging old leads, maybe you've got some long-term past clients that aren't going to do anything, but you still have to do something for them to make sure that they're remembering you. So some agents just treat their entire database as one giant list instead of actually like segmenting it into like who's doing something in the next 6 months, in the next couple of years. Maybe they're never doing something, but you can get some referrals from them. So some of us treat our CRMs a little too loosely. But usually they said that agents who struggle with their CRM don't have a technology problem, you have a structure problem. So you don't have lists, you don't have it set up correctly, you don't know who to call, all that. So I get so many questions on what CRM to use, and the answer will always be whatever one you're going to use, whatever one you can understand. Some of our agents are very high tech and can handle a high tech CRM. Some are not, but you do need to have something. So unless you don't want to retire and you want to do this for the rest of your life, which
Some people do.
some people do. I did read another article. Do you guys know Amy Flowers? Has anyone heard of her? I think she might be Toronto. Have you heard the name?
She's Oakville.
I think so. So Oakville Milton. So maybe not, but she's a really big in marketing, and she actually did an article with Real Estate Magazine about how she markets to people who are never going to read a word of anything that she puts out there. And I thought this was a really great example because I get you guys messaging me all the time being like, what should my newsletter say? What should be on my postcard? What should my business card look like? And you guys like overthink every single detail to the point where a lot of the time you don't even do the marketing because you're so caught up in what it's going to say, and then you just push it aside. This whole girl, her entire thing was, I don't care what it says on it. I already know that someone's going to get a postcard from me, see it, bring it to the kitchen and chuck it. She knows that that is what's going to happen. So she started off in 2004 delivering postcards. And so she'd drive them to the post office. They did all the mail outs for her. She started with 400 doors, and she knew people weren't going to read it. So she didn't overthink what it was going to say. She just wanted to have her face on it. And I guess back in the day, you guys cared more about the brand of the brokerage, whereas she took it and she put the Flowers team on it. So she started branding herself. And that didn't come into place really until like the last 5-6 years maybe. But she said the words on the card were never the point. Being seen was the point. So every 10 days, another card would go out, another impression, their face, their branding, and 400 families, whether they asked for it or not. And she was able to actually like count how many like listings she would get just from those postcards, obviously, because there was only 400 of them. So she was able to actually calculate if it was worth it. So she was getting 700% return for every dollar just from those postcards. And then obviously because they were doing so well, those 400 cards became 1,000, then they became 3,000, then they became 10,000. And eventually this became hard. So now she's talking about like her evolution of how she does marketing now, because she used to just do postcards and farming. But then she realized that the brand had outgrown the farm because now people outside of the farm were contacting her. And she realized, okay, I got to do more than just postcards if I want to reach more than just those 400 people. So at a certain point, another dollar in the mailbox stops buying another dollar back. So she started realizing she had to shift it a little bit. And then she had to get the branded vehicles. Then she did social media. And then she was doing postcards, social media, and that now with AI coming to the place, now she's creating websites that have hundreds of pages of contacts about neighborhoods, buyer's guides, seller's guides, whatever it is. She's just putting out content all over the internet. So it's the same thing she would have told you about postcards. She doesn't care what these blogs and what these things all say. All she cares is that now that she's in your mailbox, she's driving around the road, she's probably on billboards. Now you're finding her online. So her whole point is marketing kind of evolves and you have to follow it. So you can't just stick to one thing. You do have to be online and offline today. Now, a lot of the clients, she said now it's actually harder for her to decide where to spend money because she actually doesn't know where the clients are finding her now. She doesn't know if it came from the internet. She doesn't know if it's coming from the postcards. All she knows is that it's working. So she's just all over the place. AI's been where she's finding most people are finding her now versus when back in the day she could say a postcard got it. Now she's finding that ChatGPT is sending her clients. So if you guys still haven't gotten into that world, that might be something you do. But she just said the blur that used to frustrate her is in 2004, they could prove every single dollar. Today, we cannot, at least in the same way. After 25 years in one market, when a new client calls, I can rarely tell you a single reason why they chose us. Was it the AI answer? Was it the 25 years of postcards, the vehicles, the videos? She's even going on YouTube and her team's been telling her, why are you putting these videos? No one's watching them. She's like, I don't care if anyone watches it. Like someone's going to watch it. Don't care what the content of it is, but so she's just doing all of it. You could say if the marketing has probably changed a lot since 2004. You guys probably were able to put up an ad and be able to tell if it's working. Now you can't.
You used to put an ad in the Toronto Sun. You used to put ads in the Toronto Star.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And someone would be like, I found you in the Toronto Star, called you.
It used to resell homes, right? It used to be all kinds of things. It used to be news advertiser. It used to be the Scarborough Mirror, right? It'd be all kinds of print news, right? It's all gone now. All right.
So now you're seeing like Shiv. He did postcards or calling and all that. Now you'll see him on social media, and now he's got billboards. So he could probably tell you the same thing. Like, who knows what's bringing him? He's got all of it now.
Well, he's starting to develop. He didn't do it before. He started
Did
it just in the last year or so. So even the guys who've been around for a long time are changing their strategies as well.
Yeah. So I know we want to do farming, but I think you have to do farming. You got to be online. You got to be offline. You got to be in the community.
I remember the arguments for Facebook. I remember the arguments years ago when Facebook came in. Everybody said to me, "I don't want to show you what I had for dinner." Right? Everybody's taking pictures of their dinner plates.
Because it would be Instagram.
You know, and then everybody's like, "What's going on?" But now everybody's doing it.
No, not as much. Well, yeah, people do still post their food, but in a weird way. Now people do it for hyper local marketing, because now you could post a restaurant and you can tag the restaurant where you're at, and then the restaurant will save you. Like, it's kind of funny when we think about restaurants. Like, I go to Chook a lot in Pickering. You guys know Chook? It's a Mexican place right by my house. Now when I go there, they all know me. Their bartender gave us a deal from his grandma. And now that bartender now works for us. He just got his license last week. So sometimes when you do post these weird things on Instagram, they become, even like Christina's nails, and now she's here working with us too. And like sometimes when you connect with like local businesses on social media, all of a sudden you're getting business from it in some sort of capacity. So if your brain can think like that, but if you don't want to post the food, no problem. But
no,
there's power to it.
In Caitlin's defense, Caitlin has a personality. She can do that, right? She's got a personality, and she can do that, no problem, right? But there's no reason why I couldn't do it myself if I was in.
You got a lower personality. You get more views on a lot of videos than we do.
But
it's the brand.
That was a good point. So it wasn't my point, but it was a good point.
That was a good point. Your brand is very different than mine.
Because I hear people say to me, "Well, Caitlin's natural. Caitlin's she's so." In other words, I don't do it because Kate's natural. That's what I'm not natural. Trust me.
But I do it every day. It's like
the fact is, you do it enough, right? You do enough, and get your handle, whatever it might be, and it could be something simple that
You have to have a self-confidence. That's all.
Yeah. And confidence comes with experience, right? So it's like if you're going to go door knocking or cold calling, you're not going to be good at it the first few times. You got to keep doing it.
I think confidence comes in knowing what you're going to say.
And failure.
So if you read stuff there, you know what you're going to say, right? So it's there. But if you just
When we look at player as a knowledge center, I mean, he comes with the experience.
So even if you like got a quiet personality, you still have something to present online, right? Like you could be quiet, you could be loud, but yeah. So everyone has their different personality. You don't have to be extroverted or loud and all that to be good doing anything, to be honest, because you're gonna have quiet clients too.
Mm-hmm. So here's a nice little blueprint. This woman here gave a little blueprint what she did and how she's successful. And I'm sure she sells over 100 houses a year right now.
Yeah.
So she started off with 400 flyers in a farm area.
And then she realized it worked, so she doubled.
I've been saying this. We've been saying this for a long time. Get a farm area. Get a little townhouse complex. Something not more than 200, 300, 400. That's it. And then get a bunch of flyers printed out whenever you're busy or not busy. Take your flyers and hand out to your flyer. Get to know your farmer.
Yeah, and then go online, and then get a car.
Right, and then the other part is to go look at properties. Right, so if you're in a farm area, a property comes up in your farm area that's not your listing. You go inspect that property. You go check it out. You see a property that's already for sale. You go look at it. You see a property that's ready to expire. You go check that out. So it's all different things you can do. So.
Yeah. Did you read my article when I was away?
Not here now.
Well, I was in an article, everybody, Real Estate Magazine, so I might as well read it. So they interviewed me last month to ask us about what do we do when your family and friends reject you, and like rethinking rejection from loved ones. Did you guys read it? So how many of you guys have been rejected by a family or friend? Yeah. Who has not chosen to go with you? Yeah. Always, right?
All the time.
So they asked me about this one, and I thought it is kind of weird that we get offended when I think about it, because we're probably one of the few industries that gets really upset with a family or friend and probably lose friendships over it. Versus like if your cousin's an accountant or a lawyer, like do they get upset if we don't use them? I don't know. Maybe they do, but we're in a very funny industry. I said it could be because it's so public too, because your family, your uncle might sell their house, and then all of a sudden some other person's name is on their lawn and they're posting on Facebook and Instagram talking about the sale of their home, and it's not with you. So sometimes because it's so public, it almost feels a little bit invasive. But they asked me to give some tips on how to handle rejection, which I think we've done a pretty good job. And Claire's given us some insight on even getting people to work with us that are family and friends. And I think your main one was, how do you get your family and friends to actually go from thinking about the kid that spilled juice on my carpet to a trained professional to handle your asset? And especially if you're younger and you're trying to get business from your uncles, your aunts and all that, a lot of the time you'll say, well, there's another real estate agent. But we kind of have to change the way they see us too, because I think of us as this little kid or whatever career we were in before, and we have to change their minds and figure out how we can get them to think of us in a different way. And I think through repeated visible proof, by showing that you're helping other people buy and sell real estate and that you're good at your job with strangers, should get your family and friends to trust you, because they can see that you're doing it with other people. But there is some reasons why you may not get the deal. And that could be, maybe there's some privacy around financials. There might be a divorce in the situation. They might just want to protect the relationship. There could be things that they may need specialization in. Maybe they want to do a commercial deal and you do residential, or it's a specific neighborhood an hour and a half away from here and they don't want to choose you. But it's a referral fee that for you that's sitting right there as well. So make sure that your family knows that if they don't want to work with you, you can connect them with another agent and then you can get paid that way. So if it's really they don't want to work with you, to save privacy and all of that, try to get a referral fee type of conversation going. You don't have to say, hey, I got a referral fee if you go with someone else, but be like, hey, if you're not comfortable with me, I can connect you with another agent that can help you. So start to get comfortable saying that, like, don't reject me completely, but let me help you in a different way. So you can do the referral fee. What was the other one? That was a big one. It was a referral fee sitting right there. I think I talked about like how to get them. Oh yeah, I'll talk about that. The other thing is, I think one of our agents actually taught us this. Lucy Rizzo taught me this early on in my career. But when you do lose out on getting hired, you get 24 hours to be upset. And I kind of use this throughout my entire life of everything. But if you get upset about something, you get 24 hours to be mad, you get 24 hours to be upset by it, and then you have to move on. You cannot think about it more than 24 hours. You're allowed to cry about it. You're allowed to be angry. But you only get 24 hours, or you're going to stick with it. And you're always going to have that mindset of rejection. So you get 24 hours. Have you heard that one before?
5 minutes.
And then Mike Ferry. You go. Claire's just 5 minutes. Honestly, I would do 5 minutes too.
5 minutes, right?
I think Mike Ferry said something too. Be like, oh, your parents got divorced when you were a kid and you take it with you. He's like, get over it. Like, there's like bad things are going to happen to you. You got to move on. Otherwise, you're just going to walk around as an angry person getting rejected. It's not going to put the energy out there.
Okay,
Next, just move on. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it stings. Yes, you can be mad about it. But like, you'll see people talking about it on forums and they're still talking about that rejection that they have all the time. But the reality is we're going to get rejected and it's going to hurt and we get it, but don't sit on it. You can also take it as a lesson. So did you ask that family member or friend for business? Did you follow up with this person when they said, oh, I'm thinking about buying and selling a house? Did you follow up with them, or did you just expect them to come with you? How was your marketing? Like, were you in their face and reminding them that you're in the business? Did you talk more about your listings than talking about their needs? Did you pressure them or overwhelm them or disrespect them in any way? So it's also an opportunity for you to actually reflect back on things. I still remember like when Paige and I lost, it wasn't a family member, but it was our first rejection. And I remember sending this giant text message, which is so embarrassing. And I like wrote a giant text message about, how dare you reject us? I showed you 50 homes, blah, blah, blah. And like, I like went in, and then now I'm embarrassed that I even did that. Like, now you just say, yep, good luck with the move. Hope all is well. Because sometimes the way that you handle that rejection may actually lean into another referral. Like, if you handle a rejection from your uncle, they may be like, hey, I didn't give you the deal, but my friend's looking to do something. So sometimes if you can handle the rejection gracefully versus flipping out on them, snapping on them, like, that's going to result in a lot worse. I think, Alex, did you do that too once? You're smirking over there. I think we all do a yell at some point where you flip out on someone that rejected you, screwed you over, and we all want to, but it's more embarrassing, to be honest. Don't do it.
I love those people after suing 50 houses.
I genuinely think you have to be professional. I think you just have to say all the best. Like, I don't think you yelling at them, cussing them out is really going to do, it's going to do more harm than good. And I think usually when one door closes, something better is going to happen for you. But I think if you handle it a little more gracefully, they may actually send you more clients because they rejected you and they almost feel bad about it. And maybe they'll send you to their friends. So there's usually a reason why.
Don't burn the bridge.
Don't burn the bridge. Nelson's always like, they're dead to me, like, which maybe they might be. They might be dead to you after that, but don't just silently exit the relationship. The other ways to get them to work with you, I still think professionalism is always the key, but Claire taught us this as well. Like, make sure you give your close friends a safe island as well. Like, when it comes to finances, we know as real estate agents, we don't need to know their finances, right? Maybe in their a rental agreement, you might need to, which is funny, but let them know, like, hey, if you're not choosing me because of financial reasons, you're only going to be telling the mortgage broker all your finances. I just need to know what your budget is and maybe what your deposit is. Otherwise, I don't need to know how much money you make. I don't need to know your credit score. So make sure you have these conversations with any of your friends. If they are talking about buying, just be like, just so you know, I'm never going to have to know anything about your finances. You can still work with me. So you're putting them on that like safe island. And I think that was a good one for us too, because all my best friends have pretty much bought with me because I've told them I didn't need to know all that stuff. But people will remember how you react. So staying professional often leads to future referrals. So don't let one bad transaction affect your relationship, I think. Right?
Yeah. So in sales, it still comes down to scripts, right? We're still in the sales business, right? So in sales business, you have to be salesy.
Yeah.
Not salesy, not, you have to know sales, right? We've hired people in the past and I've said to them, like, would you guys agree that 80% of your business comes from people you already know? Friends and family, right? So I remember talking to one agent, in particular, a brand new agent, and I said, okay, so 80% of your business comes from your family, I said. So make sure that you put your family on your CRM or make sure your family's on, and they, oh no, my family knows I'm in business. I don't have to do that. They know I'm in real estate. They know I got my real estate license. And I kept on telling her, the woman, they know you as this. They don't remember you as a real estate agent. Remember you as being that person, right? They were spilling juice on the floor. Then you got to keep them up to date that you're in professional and you're in the real estate business. Yeah. She wouldn't do it, and she only lasted maybe a year and a half. That was it. So it's gone.
But that's part of like the reflecting on it. So if you did have a family member that didn't use you, instead of getting mad, reflect back on it. Be like, wait, did I ask for their business? Did I market to them? Did I send them a flyer?
Yeah.
Like,
did I have my cousin on my? Do I have my cousin on my CRM? Does my cousin get my newsletters?
And then you're gonna add your friends and family on there. As soon as you get rejected, you're like, oh, I gotta improve this and this and this.
Next thing is words, right? I mean, I remember Buffini, he had a mayor campaign, what do they call it? Mayor campaign. Anyways, his words were quite simple. Hey, cousin, I'm in the real estate business, so I'm curious, if you know somebody that's thinking about buying or selling real estate, do you have an agent that you would use? And they'd say, yeah, I have my best friend, or I have my wife, or whatever the answer might be. Or they might say no. They say, no, that's great. Do you mind if I keep you up to date with what's going on in the market and keep you up to tune? That's super. Give me your email address, blah, blah, blah. So you get permission to do that, but you find out what's going on too. I thought that was a good, that's a good little words, right? If you know somebody's thinking about buying or selling real estate, do you have an agent that you recommend?
Yeah.
I'd like to be that agent that you'd recommend to a friend, kind of keep you up to date with what's going on in the market.
Very easy.
All right.
Easy business.
So you have to be a little bit insensitive for the people.
Insensitive? No, that's
Insensitive to
I don't like the clients who relatives who don't take it personally.
No, even if they tell you, yeah, I have my best friend, you're still going to put them on your list. You've got a CRM, right? You hit that button, you hit enter button. Button doesn't care whether it sends out one email or 100 emails.
Yeah. We already know 98% of you are not doing these CRM activities and following up with them. So the other person may not be doing anything either. They just know someone's there. But then if you do follow up and you're sending them things and that guy isn't, they're going to be like, oh, this guy, maybe I'll go with this guy because this guy's not doing all that stuff. So I already know agents aren't doing half the stuff we tell you guys to do. So, good little race. You doing this one?
I don't know if I had to or not. Do you think so?
Right.
That's too negative.
Training. All right.
Okay, so I'll touch it this time. Rico, just for a minute there. Rico, to me, in my opinion, has gone too far.
Hmm.
If you ever get bored, you want to read about RICO, just go to RICO enforcement, and it looks like every day they're bringing about 4, 5, 6 people every day to ethics.
Like innocent people too.
That's why they want more money to hire more lawyers.
Or brokers.
Anyway, so the enforcement there. So RICO now, like this one couple here, I think this is really bad, and the people are piling on. They're all piling on, and you notice now on Facebook, you'll get agents that are that in the background is a lawsuit, and they'll comment on the lawsuit. Have you seen that yet?
Yep.
No? Yes? So in the screen itself, it shows the this guy was charged for small claims court or RICO, whatever it might be, and it's got his name on there and everything, and then they put themselves on the bottom of it, and they comment on
Like a green screen. You'll see like a lot of brokers with the RICO complaint behind them, and then you'll see them commentating on it, basically.
So I think it's just gone too far, and they're putting people's names on there that are being accused of doing things, but they haven't been to court, haven't had their judgment day, they haven't no decisions been made. They've just been, they got to go to ethics and explain themselves.
They're just like trying to come up with some content.
And the poor people. This one company, On the Block Realty in particular. I mean,
She actually does that type of content.
she does that. That's why I say. So she herself does what I'm talking about. She herself has in the
RICO complaint.
in the background the RICO complaint. She comments on what they did wrong.
And now she's on the RICO
No,
complaint.
she's there herself, but they're accused, and they're accused of clerical errors, not stealing money, not mishandling money, nothing else. They're accused of it. So if anything, they're going to get a fine or something, a course, and don't do it again. But meanwhile, the whole company's being dragged through.
Oh, he's
And now people are going after him, saying that he's the president of Toronto Real Estate Board. Now they're saying he should resign. Like his wife runs the company. I guess he's a broker there, not an owner. Now they're telling the president should resign. What do you guys think? You guys think that that zero tolerance? Do you think if somebody gets accused of something, they should be put out there in the public?
Should be given a chance to defend
Don't you think it'd be more fair to have a decision and then publish the decision rather than publishing the case itself?
They're innocent unless they're proven guilty at the court. So if we do anything, to disfame them, then they can get sued for that, right?
They should, yeah, but they won't. But yeah, I mean, how many times have you read in the newspaper so and so got charged with something or other, but you never see so and so got innocent, did he? Right?
True.
You never see, he got innocent. All they do is, this person here, if they go to them and they say that there's no penalty, they'll just remove his name from that list. Anyways, that's my 2 cents.
Events? Okay, we've got some, now that end of summer's slowly approaching, we're getting ready for our back to school for you guys, which I think this will be maybe our 6th year doing it, I think. We've been doing it for a while. But we have a lot happening in September for you guys. This week on Wednesday, I'm actually going to be introducing you guys to the 5-week course that I'm going to be doing with you guys. Usually I do systems for success that a lot of you guys have done. But I'm kind of switching things up because I think the market needs a little bit of a shakeup. I'm noticing a lot of agents really don't know how to be salespeople, which you might agree. We're used to the last few years, again, where people are reaching out to us. Now we're having people have bigger problems than you guys are used to. I'm seeing more amendments on deals. I'm seeing more deals falling through. And I'm seeing a lot of the agents that were very confident a few years ago losing their confidence because they don't know how to problem solve and actually make a deal stick together right now. Like I'm getting so many calls like, what do I say to my client? What do I say to the other agent? And I'm seeing it a lot more. I don't know. Are you seeing that a lot with agent? Maybe I'm seeing it a lot. Are you seeing it a lot, Jenny? Maybe. Anyways, I'm seeing it a lot. So we're going to switch up the course a little bit this year. And it's going to be more right-brained than it is left-brained. So I'm not going to be getting you guys to write down your goals and how many deals you need to do and blah, 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 blah. It's going to be how to talk, actually. So I'm going to introduce it on Wednesday at 11. I'm going to do it at the Ajax office in person and online. And it's just going to present our 5-week program that's going to be starting on September 16th. And it's going to go for 5 weeks in a row. So I want you guys to jot off the next 5 weeks from September till October so that you guys can tune into these.
Each Wednesday, right? Every
Wednesday, 11. And I'm going to switch between offices. So I'm going to do 3 at Kennedy because Sandeep wants me to. So we're gonna do every other Wednesday will be at Kennedy, and then there'll be 2 Wednesdays at Ajax. It will also be online and recorded. So I will have as many options as possible for you guys, but it's gonna be called Blueprint 2026. Week 1 is design is the topic. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to actually build a business foundation that actually works for you guys. Week 2 is going to be attract. So we'll talk a lot about marketing and how to create demand, how to market yourself strategically and become the obvious choice. Week 3 is going to be really good. So this one's connect. So I'm going to be talking about consultations and listing agreements, but not so much in the way on what to do. I'm going to teach you guys what questions to ask, objection handling, and really how to build a conversation with people. Like I'm finding a lot of people don't actually know how to build relationships. You guys don't really, like some people don't understand how to build a relationship as a salesperson. So I'm going to teach you guys like what questions to ask to re-engage people, get them to trust you in sales, and then get them to ultimately want to be your client. Week 4 is about serving. So we're going to talk about client experience, and I'm going to be talking about what actually builds trust and certain things like how quickly to answer your phone. How do you answer the phone? What types of things do your clients actually want you to do for them? Not so much selling the house for for the highest price, but how do you solve problems and how do you guys make things happen? And that's how you guys are going to build a good relationship to get more referrals. So it's more conversations. I'm going to be teaching you guys a lot in the serving. And then resourcefulness. This is one I'm really excited about because I'm going to teach you guys how to actually figure things out, how to find answers, how to Google, how to use AI, how to get more confident and like even things like how to dress properly and how to find answers that your clients are asking you. So when they're asking about HST rebates or they're asking you guys about all these big questions on pre-construction and random things, I'm going to teach you guys how to do some research, which I think is also like a lacking skill that is a really big thing that's going to help you guys in your career. So that's going to start off Wednesday. I'm going to teach you guys all of that stuff. So we'll just go over what all those weeks will look like, and then we'll start that in September. So I think that'll be good. I'll send an email today with that. The other things happening September 10th in Dur. Is anyone going to that Varan's event? Yeah?
Yep.
It's a free. I don't know if it's sold out yet, but it should be good. He's got a bunch of speakers coming. Someone from Ryan Serhant's team is going to be coming.
Yeah,
So he's got a second day. So he's got a full day on the 10th, and then the 11th, I think he has a paid day with someone from Serhant's team, specifically on branding, I think. And it's just a lunch hour networking. That's a smaller condensed group. So I think he was selling tickets for that last week as well. And I think he put it in our WhatsApp group too. So if you do want to go to the bonus day, that's going to be on the 11th. September 15th, we're really going to cram some things in. So on a Tuesday, I don't usually do things on Tuesdays, but on the 15th, we're going to have a lawyer come in and do a lunch and learn at the Ajax office on probate sales, which we're seeing a lot of.
Which day is that?
15th. And then we'll start the next day on our Blueprint 2026. So it's going to be a crammed September. And then September 27th, we have the C21 Jays game. So we're packed. There's no conference this year. So if you guys are conference goers, it's a Jays game instead. And that's all I've got.
And what time it is, the ones that you are doing stuff?
Mine will be 11 a.m. and we'll try to keep them down to an hour.
Nope.
And then I expect probably people will have questions, which might push it over our hour, but it'll probably be a lot more engagement. I was going to do online, but I would say give yourself 2 hours for those just in case everyone wants to talk after.
in person.
Yeah, I've got my in-person guys. Especially, I guess this one will be too, because it is a lot of scripts. Not so much scripts, but conversing versus usually I teach you guys systems for success, which is step by step. Here's what you do next. This year, it's going to be a whole different program. So if you have come to my back to school systems for success course in the past and you're like, oh, I don't need to do it again, it's a whole other program. So you guys will probably want to do this one. I think if this will be more geared towards my mid-level producing agents, anyone that's doing maybe 80 and above, even higher, but this will be for people that have done deals and all that. So my last courses typically would be more geared towards brand new, but this one's higher up. Do you want to call out anyone that hasn't paid their dues?
Okay, I have a list. We got a list here of people that haven't paid the dues yet. Please stand up, the following people.
There's a big list.
B. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it possible to set September calendar all these breaks?
Yeah, I'll send. Oh, I do, but I'll send another one. You do get an email every week, I promise. It's called This Week's Recap plus Upcoming Events. So I typically send an email once a week. I'll send another one just for you. But you do get an email from me, I promise.
You only get it?
No, you all get one. It says announcements usually when it comes from me. And the title says This Week's Recap and Upcoming Events. So usually I put the last week's meeting recording or any training, and then I'll put the list of it. But I'll do another one.
I think nowadays only for going to my class.
Oh, good. That's what I love to hear. Pulling his trash again.
Anybody have any properties you want to talk about or buyers you want to talk about?
I have a rental in Scarborough, a 3-bedroom, 1,100 square feet, $2,400, 2 parking spaces. Somebody rented. It's cheap.
I thought you were gonna talk about your condo.
What's the address? Or street name?
Ling Road.
Ling? Okay.
2,300.
It's slightly 400, so 3-bedroom, 1,100 square feet. It's not the prices, but
2400 Ling. Where's that? Oh, 121 Ling. Okay, yeah, okay. Because there's 121, there's 90, right?
It's a house.
Is it a house or
A house.
it's a condo?
Yours is a condo?
There's 121 Ling and 90 Ling, right? And 80 Ling? Anybody else? Yeah, Morningside and
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
That one.
So much. I'm actually good.
Oh, well, listing.
Sandeep's going.
So, no, 4 listings. One in Hamilton, one in Mississauga, one in Scarborough, one in Toronto downtown. Tomorrow is offer for Hamilton one. So, yesterday I had an open house. 2 days, 8, 9 families. None of the family were neighbors. None of the family came with the realtor.
This in Hamilton you're talking about?
Hamilton. River townhouse.
Oh,
Fully done. Fully.
it's a gold mine listing.
Huh?
It's a gold mine listing.
Yeah, it's a good. And they want to upgrade because they got the job. So, I'm not worried about selling. But
What's the price?
listing 648, planning to sell it for 690.
Yeah.
What was the unit?
Sorry?
How much big is the unit? How much is the unit?
1,500 square feet, 3 bed, 3 wash.
What is that?
Hamilton.
Harlifton.
Tell me the area. We have listing.
That's good.
Anybody else? No. All right. So be safe out there. I like my saying. Get back to work.
Yeah.
Okay. See y'all.
See ya.